Louis speed bag glued to her wrist. She was getting paid. She ain't think a thing, but she was thinking slay. Weave blade thicker than a snicker bag. Talking about she don't come with no baggage. Y'all in her bag, I probably should. I'm really just running for money. I'm love flow, Joe chasing a check. I'm really gonna run up the money. I'm Carl Lewis, really running the best. Car moving through these hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed. Car moving through these hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed. I'm really just running for money. I'm love flow, Joe chasing a check.
Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuned in to Madden 19 on
First open. City. Today we've got a good Week 5 matchup in store here between the Atlanta Falcons and the Detroit Lions. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now a play fake here on first down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Tech McKinley in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
Well, we knew coming in it was going to be a long afternoon if they weren't able to hold up against this pass rush, huh?
What we didn't know was that protection was going to spring a leak on the first play from scrimmage.
Got after him right out of the gate.
And that closed up quickly there as he gets it up only to about the 17. Justin Reed, the safety, made the tackle.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
It's complete to his tight end, Charles Clay. And the Falcons say they have it, they do. Opening drive fumble, and the 4 miscues that they had last week, 4 turnovers, Charles. So this is a bad trend.
And Brandon, you and I both know that they didn't just ignore what happened last week. They focused on it.
After reviewing the play,
on 4th down, here's Sam Martin to kick it away. This will be fielded at the 17. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored. You give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout. And that means your offense has to keep pace.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Will Fuller was the intended target. And that'll make it 3rd down.
Now that's a pretty play right there, and what I'm thankful for is it wasn't me in that situation, because one of the toughest things about defending the deep ball is not panicking, because the longer you run with a receiver, you're trying to figure out, am I close to him? Can I make a play on the football? Will I be there when the ball actually arrives, what we call the moment of truth? And in this case, the defender did not panic, stayed right with it, and batted it away.
And now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
But that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
They're going to try and throw. He's going to look deep for Perriman. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. And he is able to take this way down into Detroit territory. Wow, 1st and goal, and defensively all they can do is shake their heads. Not only did they allow the conversion, but a big play as well. From the gun, Pitts. Diving for the end zone, and the ball's knocked out. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. That's probably bringing back nightmares of last week, isn't it?
No doubt about it. Right now, I'm looking over at the coaching staff, and I'm seeing the wheels turning in their heads. And you know what is happening? They're remembering how they started the season in camp, even in the offseason where they emphasized ball security.
And he can't dance his way out of this one. Abdullah brought down for the safety. Well, we thought these two defenses, they might come to play. One has already come to play here, a safety for the opening points of the game.
Brandon, let's file this play away because if it turns out to be a tight game, who knows? This could wind up being the difference.
And here now come the Falcons. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive. Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up, 2nd and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39, green 39.
Off play action, Pitts. Fuller brings it in over the middle. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. Give him 30 yards there. Off the play fake. Pitts. Man open, that's Calvin Ridley. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, minicamp, and just regular season. They got it done on that one. An out cut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
Looking to throw. Pitts. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. Ziggy Ansah in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. Off play action. Pitts. Eluding the pressure right. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's 3rd.
Well, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
Leopard!
Off the play fake. Pitts. And he's got a man, Corey Davis. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot. And they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
All right, Captain, it's batten down the hatches time defensively. Dodged 2 pass attempts to the end zone. Now what do you think they're going to try and dial up on 3rd and goal?
Well, knowing them and knowing what we just seen, I think they're throwing it again, don't you?
I think you have to. I think in this situation, you kind of run out of your running plays, fire another one into the end zone.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah.
And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line. They're turned away on 4th and goal. And the Lion defense able to come up there with a goal line stand. And they've now made 2 trips to the red zone and still looking for their first touchdown.
Not able to punch it in, and if you're on defense, your confidence is sky high. Because mentally, you're saying, hey, you're in the red zone. We're thinking we're giving up 3. We just want to give up 6. In this case, They end up not giving up the touchdown at all. They've got to feel great about what they got done.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. To throw on 2nd down is Stafford. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry? Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Well, he leads the NFL in interceptions and nearly added to that total.
Got his hand on it, couldn't quite corral it. It's been a Pro Bowl-type season for him, and the term ball hawk really comes into play, doesn't it?
Yeah, I like that one a lot because teams want to avoid that type of a player, but sometimes you just can't. He just knows where the ball is.
Very good return that time. 18 yards. The Falcons are set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already. Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. And last time, they had it 4th and goal, rolled the dice, didn't get it. Now they've got to put that behind them, try to put together another drive.
Hey, a simple tip of the cap, a nod of the head to the defense. Congratulations, you got us last time. But you didn't hold us the whole time. We got down to position where we were able to be in position to score. Let's go ahead and attack again. Continue to have that kind of confidence, not worry about the one play that didn't allow them to get into the end zone.
And this time they'll be trying to get it into the end zone. We'll see what they do. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. There is no denying they want to get him involved. That's already the 5th time that they've looked his way in this 1st quarter.
So that tells me defensively that they want to insist on going in that direction. Make sure you get your best people in the area to try and take that away.
Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. Back to throw. Pitts. And now another one thrown incomplete. So now 4th down looming. Remember, these guys went for it on their last drive, but it didn't work out.
Even though it didn't work out, I would not be surprised at all if they went ahead and did it again.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Darn right.
The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on 4th.
Detroit!
Operating from the gun. Pitts. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Able to get there and pick it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week. 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away. And that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
Rashaan Evans out of Alabama had the tackle defensively.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
Yes, indeed. That play there, that reminds me of some of the guys that I played with that have that suddenness, able to get into the backfield almost about the time the ball snapped and make a play. How about that tackle for a loss?
Absolutely. He did a lot of that last week when he was named the NFC Defensive Player of the Week. One of the guys on the team was saying, yeah, we called him the disruptor. And that's carrying forward again.
Makes sense, doesn't it?
This is taken at the 23. Good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And possession will switch hands. 1st and 10. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive.
Touchdown, Falcons! Breshad Perriman with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Falcons are able to show off their quick strike ability. That's an early touchdown grab for last week's NFC Offensive Player of the Week. He was so electric, and they talked about it all week long. Have to try to contain him.
And now for him, being able to focus on the task at hand and not just immediately assume that last week it totally carries over, but you got to like the start that he has, showing those great hands that we've seen from him throughout.
And Detroit getting set to go now. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete. And incomplete here, so a little razzle-dazzle on that one, but they couldn't hook up, and it's third down. To throw on third down, Stanford. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
He had a good game catching the ball at the backfield a week ago, and they're going to try and involve him in that way in this game as well. But you can tell scouting is taking over. They're making it a little bit more difficult.
Defensively, they told us, hey, we've got to take him out of the passing game, limit it to just short runs, as he can really impact this offense. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one play drive is exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was fairly easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
Yeah, we'll see if it's that easy here. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And finding the tight end, Hooper. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down.
Detroit! Detroit!
Off play action. Pitts rolling to his right. He finds his target, Fuller. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. And a nice gain at 21 yards. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. That's caught out left by Perriman. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Off the play fake. Pitts flushed out right. That's going to be caught. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. A very solid gain of 27. From the gun, Pitts. And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. Will Fuller, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Falcons will extend their lead. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone Has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball in the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points. Get that 0 off the board. A second down run for Abdullah. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete. And the trick play doesn't work. Good reaction there defensively, and it'll be 4th down. This is taken at about the 14. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Off play action. Pitts. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way down to the 22-yard line. A big-time play there for the Falcons. 48 yards. Off the play fake. Pitts. Looking left side. He's got it. Complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. Off play action. Pitts. And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line. Ezekiel Ansah. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. Off the play fake. Pitts. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Keep in mind, he had the 3-interception game last week, so we requested to talk with him this week. He was all smiles. He's still all smile.
Yeah, we didn't jinx him at all, did we? No. Because ordinarily that happened.
And can you believe it? It's a second safety in this ball game. And this defense continues to dominate. How about 2 safeties in one game here?
You don't even put that on your goal sheet. This is something that results when you're playing really well on defense and the offense has nowhere to go with the football. Dominating performance.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. And 2 picks thrown here in this first half alone. We'll see how that affects him.
Can't wait to see where his confidence is, because the great ones, they'll throw 4 or 5 picks, and while it'll hurt their team, it won't hurt their confidence. They'll think something was just wrong with the ball or the wind or something was funny. It's never about them. That's how they stay so into the moment and into the game.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. He's going to float this one, and that's caught inside the 35. And he makes it all the way down to the 31. It's a big play there for Atlanta. 43 yards. Off play action. Pitts forced out to his left. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. Off the play fake. Pitts. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
So that's back-to-back drives where they're throwing an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
And they begin the drive with Abdullah. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line's just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you've got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
And this is going to be incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. Here's another failure right there on 3rd down.
Here's Sam Martin now, standing right on his own 5-yard line. Taken in at the 22. A big boot that time. 57 yards, the official distance. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Out comes Calvin Ridley and the offense for their next drive. He's been really good in the yardage category, yet to hit the end zone, however.
A minor blemish against him right now because the work he's doing catching the ball, in some ways he's helping serve as good ball control because the big plays that he's making have really helped out his team.
Absolutely. They're winning on the scoreboard here in quarter number 2. The first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
Looking to throw. Pitts. And his throw here's incomplete. Rashad Breeland there defensively and able to knock that one down to the ground.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
And now he'll tuck it and run. He turned that into a nice gain, gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down. The Falcons on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 2. Back to throw. Pitts buying time to his left. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow him to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let him get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. On 4th down, Pitts. And my goodness, this is incomplete. Quandre Diggs there defensively. Well, that's the fourth time that they've tried to go for it on fourth down. They've only converted once, Charles.
And obviously not a good percentage. And if you're going to go for it on fourth down, you think that you've got the right play dialed up. You can't be stopped. Your momentum's going to keep going. But 1 for 4, that tells you that you need to look at things in a different way, and you need to tip your cap to the defense. They've done a great job.
And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Over the middle and caught by the tight end Clay. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
Well, that was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up third down.
From the gun on third down, Stafford. He's got a man complete. It's Clay. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up fourth down.
That was impressive to me because while it was a pass play, they still rallied to the football like they were filling running lanes, and they were able to put the receiver on the ground.
So not only do they get the fumble recovery on the punt, but now look at this field position. He almost took it the distance.
And the ability to not just make the play, but turn it into something big, that's what coaches harp on all the time. How do we create big plays that'll change the game? And that may have been one that just did.
And he floats one there, incomplete. His tight end Clay, the intended receiver, and now it's second down. Down this close to the goal line, first down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on first down in this situation because second down, that gives me that option of running play action and maybe throwing it.
He goes underneath to Abdullah. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Amir Abdullah, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Lions are able to draw a bit closer. Didn't have anything downfield, swung it out to the flat. He did the rest.
Such a staple of so many offenses we see now. You know, in our discussions with offense coordinators, how many times do they tell us, hey, this offense is designed for either a touchdown or a check down. We saw the check down on that play, and boy, was it successful.
We saw a touchdown, too. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Rodney McLeod. And he will score. Touchdown, Lions.
Did I just see what I thought I saw? Did I just see what I thought? That had to be. Come on, say it for me. Say it for me. Who picked up that pass?
The free safety.
Oh, you got to have those great skills back there. Eyes, anticipation, great hands. And, of course, how about the fluid moves afterwards to take it all the way to the house?
Sounds like you're watching your old game film up here in your head.
You know, that's the dream I had of being that player. I just never was.
And let's shift our attention to Will Fuller, making his presence felt early in this one. First half, already over the century mark.
How about the yards per completion, too? That's a pretty darn good number there. Number of catches, but he's shredding defenses, getting big yardage with each and every one of them.
And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Play action. Pitts. Throw right side, caught by Ridley. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Now a play fake here on first down. Being chased out left. That is incomplete.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
To throw again. Hits. And that's incomplete. This drive, which was going so smoothly, all of a sudden it's a little bit of a roadblock here with 2 straight incompletions.
Yeah, apparently this defense has had enough. Apparently they're saying, no more. We're making a stand right here, right now. But it is 3rd and 10. They've got to get after him one more time.
And the 3rd down pass falls incomplete.
And I feel like my man, Old Mo, momentum might be changing jerseys right now. How about what they just got done? They scored a touchdown their last drive. Now here's a 3 and out. Maybe momentum's getting ready to creep to the other sideline.
On 4th down, Pitts. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Rodney McLeod. Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. The 40. And now running right through it. And they will finally stop him, but a great return. Gets that football all the way down to the 16-yard line. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. After the interception, here's Stafford. Man open right side, it's the tight end play. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Charles Clay, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Lions are in for 6. Point after, right down the middle. And that gives them a 3-point lead. Martin, the punter, now out to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard. So out come the Falcons now. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Clock running, and the Falcons moving with a sense of urgency.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Pitts. And he's able to get up here to the 26. And we're going to get another timeout called by the Lions, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Off the play fake. Pitts. And he's got a man, Calvin Ridley. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a 1st down. They go play action here on 1st down. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. So in the 2nd quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So you got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
And it's incomplete. Took a shot. The game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes his quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. And this is caught inside the 5. And give him a gain of 37. 1st down now, but that clock rolling.
Detroit!
Operating from the gun. Pitts, the quick slant caught. 3 yards is the gain that time, 2nd and goal. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. To throw on 2nd down. Pitts, and this is caught for a Falcon touchdown. As his guys are in for 6, and the Falcons are in for 6. McManus now for the extra point. Extra point from McManus is good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Now McManus on to kick this one off. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And time to spotlight Golden Tate. Looking down at the stats here, realizing he has no catches. They've targeted him twice, but no catches. So how do they get him more involved, Charles?
You make sure he touches it on routes that he likes to run. Maybe even run a reverse or some type of a jet sweep so he gets his hands on the ball and get him active and involved in the game. You just try and find ways to get him going, and it doesn't have to be something that's big downfield.
Maybe kind of like in basketball, just a shooter seeing the ball go through, you get him a rep, get him more comfortable.
I agree with that totally. Maybe set that solid screen and give him an easy look.
Well, to this point, no catches. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. Stafford on 1st down. Room here to run. And he's got this down to the 35. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. So even though it's 1st down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. It'll be spotted on the right hash, a 52-yard attempt. And this one is right down Broadway. And that'll bring him back. Within a point. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
This is taken at his 4. Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10.
Detroit! Detroit! Gone! Gone! Gone!
The final shot before break. Pitts. Throw left side complete. That's Fuller. No, I'm not mad at you for skipping halftime, but can I just have a sip of water real quick? Please? Thank you. All right, let's go. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency.
And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Ziggy Ansah in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Looking to throw. Pitts. He's going to let this one. And now here's another interception. Darius Slay with a pick. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now. That's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. So we're going to look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Play fake to Abdullah. It's Stafford. And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. Alex Anzalone, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Man, blink of an eye. That happened fast and a big sack.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. Ezekiel Ansah in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
All right, now look at 56.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Pitts. And this is going to be incomplete.
So this is what happens when you throw interceptions. That confident veneer that you have, it's chipped away a little bit. Maybe a little bit gun-shy throwing it around.
Yeah, underthrowing him there, and you're right. Those interceptions may be in the back of his mind. The Falcons on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 16. Back to throw. Pitts. Hard throw, incomplete.
Partner, the way this offense has marched up and down the field during this game, It's almost a surprise to see an incomplete pass on third down, isn't it?
Yeah, they have had their foot on the gas all game long, but here finally stalling out. The punter Bosher on now as he gets this one away. Now it's Tate. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Lions will take over. And Detroit getting set to go now. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
I have to think a major focus at the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Tremendous read and reaction by the defensive tackle, and frankly, partner, it's not that often the DTs have that type of easy access back to the quarterback. Never bought the play action fade.
Play action. Stafford. It's caught. Jones. Needed 16. They got 17 on third down.
And a key number on that play, 3. Third play of the drive. Third down. Spectacular catch. Turns into a first down.
First down saves them from a 3-and-out. On first down, Abdullah. And they go backwards here. Losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. They go with Abdullah again. And he might have got this across midfield, not by much. They'll mark it down at the 49. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's third down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. Alex Anzalone in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
No, check, Patriot! No, check, Patriot!
Off play action. Pitts. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. An excellent pickup of 34 yards. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Off the play fake. Pitts. He's letting this one go for Fuller. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect.
Well, the obvious goal is to try and score a touchdown, but at the least, adding to a pretty big yardage total for his intended receiver there, huh?
Yeah, well, when you've got a guy over 150 yards, keep chucking it deep to him, I guess.
Yeah, no doubt about it. You can get it to him short, and he can make plays that way, but I like what you just said. Throw it to him deep and get it in a big chunk.
But incomplete on that try. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it. Now third down. And he's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people, bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one in.
So now 3rd and 10, a big play to start the drive, but nothing since.
Now let's go! 3-19!
Off play action. Pitts escaping the pressure right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down. Fair to say the secondary play, whichever side you're on, hasn't really been a glowing exhibition so far, but a nice job there to prevent a long completion.
I agree with you, but at some point, someone had to make a play and try and stop this exhibition of almost speed racing that we've been watching, huh?
Yeah, it has been quarterback and receiver dominated. The offense staying out there. They look prepared to go here on 4th and 10. Off the play fake. Pitts. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Dan Quinn's guys unable to come through there on 4th down. And that will force a turnover on downs. Well, they were looking for a clutch play there on 4th, unable to come up with it.
How about that defense, though, huh? How about that D?
Yeah, momentum swing.
And, you know, I remember playing how much 4th downs were emphasized. You know, because, as you said, it's a momentum play. It's also a big test for you. You know, if people are going to go for it on 4th down, they believe you're not up to the challenge. You want to show them differently.
But now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line.
Hey, set, 180.
They'll run it now out of the gun. A beautiful fake. And shedding the tackle, and now some room. Touchdown, Detroit. Amir Abdullah, his 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the Lions are in for 6.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
Martin, the punter, now out to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on 4, turned it over in their own territory, but the other guys held up. They didn't give up any points.
So how about the guy with the #1 headset on the sidelines, the head coach? That was planned going into it, not necessarily to not get the 1st down or to have the defense have to hold up.
But he trusted his defense.
Trusted his defense very much, and I think that that's how he's going to play this game. Go for it. Be aggressive, because I've got the wild bunch backing me up over here on my own sideline.
We'll see what his offense can do.
No, check, Patriot.
Off play action. Pitts. And he finds a man on a crossing route. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Off the play fake. Pitts. That is caught at the 7. That one goes for 24 yards. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Looking to throw. Pitts over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Back to throw. Pitts. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Brashad Perriman with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Falcons are in for 6.
Over!
They'll try and run with Freeman. And he will dive into the end zone, and the 2-point conversion is successful. So that effort gives him a 3-point cushion and guarantees that a field goal going forward won't beat them.
Yeah, that's really good strategy, because that's all you care about. Not getting beat at this stage. At least give your team a fighting chance.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. All right, let's discuss Amir Abdullah. And in the early going, the running game, as we see the numbers, it just wasn't on point. Well, now it's gotten more true to form.
And sometimes it takes a little while for an offensive line to get in sync, because early in a game, defenses throw different patterns at you, different formations, different sets, and you might not block them quite the way you want to.
And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away, because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
They'll run him now out of the gun. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running.
And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
So a short drop, but he's able to get it out, and this is a good kick. Taking it about the 36. So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
That's caught inside the 20. And he is able to take this way down into Detroit territory. A big-time play there for the Falcons. 58 yards. And we continue to see another example here of offenses just going for it.
And this game has really turned into a receiver's dream and a defender's nightmare, because no one's being stopped throwing the ball downfield, and points are going on the board.
The quick slant caught. And they're going to stop him here short of the goal line with the flag down. Well, this could set up a very interesting decision.
Offense.
Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
From the gun, Pitts. He's got this one complete to Perriman. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. That's good for a gain of 6, 2nd and goal.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. In for the score. And the Falcons will add on to their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. McManus's point after is good, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They start the drive with Abdullah. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Again, it's Abdullah. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It's the Lions trailing, but with possession of the football as we get set to bring you the 4th quarter. On 3rd down, Stafford. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. 75 yards receiving for him now. It's a 1st down.
Press coverage on the outside, and for defenders, that's the ultimate risk-reward. If you take the risk, can you reward yourself by keeping them on the line of scrimmage? But no, not on that one. Got to step on them. Not just a matter of laying the ball out there for him to go.
And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
180.
On second down, here's Stafford. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Mills. Both defenses have had their struggles, but they've been good enough to get them this lead, and another nice play there to help preserve the lead.
It's been a game of punch-counter-punch, hasn't it? All throughout. But this time, the big swing was taken, and it didn't land. Nice play by them on defense.
He's going to look deep for Pitt. They got his man complete. And all the way down to the 37. It's a big play there for Atlanta. 44 yards.
Gun!
Off play action. Pitts. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Flag comes in. This might be a free play. Flush to his right. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about.
Offside. Defense.
And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
Looking to throw. Pitts. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Sean Robinson forcing his way through there to drop him for a loss of a good 10 yards. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big...
Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. Touchdown, Falcons. A big play there. 50 yards. And the Falcons will extend their lead.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that. Truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. It's complete to Golden Tate. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19. That's just his 2nd catch of the game. They wanted to keep him silent. They have kept him silent.
Defensive football 101. Don't let the best player on offense beat you. Take him out of the game. They've done a great job of doing that.
Stafford gives to Abdullah on the draw. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Here's Stafford throwing the out route incomplete. That's Tate, and he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle him after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
And mark him down all the way inside the Atlanta 20. Give him 35 yards there on the third down conversion.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. That little arm got it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
And he'll get 4 there, down to about the 12-yard line.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
To throw on second down is Stafford. That's complete right around the 8. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. Well, they tried to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
Now on 4th down here, that pass knocked away and incomplete.
No surprise. They try to throw the ball on 4th down, but it gets batted down. They don't pick it up.
Well, a little football 101. When you're going toward that quarterback, you see he's going to start to throw. Get your hands up, right?
Get your hands up, affect the play, and then everyone get your hands up. When the ball gets to the receiver, moment of truth, knock it away.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
Off the play fake. Pitts. He's going to look deep for Perriman. He's got a man. Complete. The 30. Past the 20. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Brashad Perriman, 89 yards. And the Falcons will add on to their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
So out now come the Lions. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense.
Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Takk McKinley, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the depth. And the pressure gets to him again.
So, Brandon, we've sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
3rd and long. It's Stafford. This complete to the tight end Clay. And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 15. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
They'll call that a punt of 59 yards. Tough to do better than that. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. They've really distanced themselves. They have put the pedal to the metal, I guess, so to speak.
So definitely have them in the rearview mirror, don't they? I mean, you're exactly right. Being able to string together these drives that end up in points, it's almost like a run in basketball to create that distance, and they're on a really big-time one right now.
It becomes contagious, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, because oftentimes it translates to your defense as well, because they're excited about getting the ball back for their offense that's playing so well.
Well, they are clicking right now. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. And he is able to take this way down into Detroit territory. A big-time play there for the Falcons. 58 yards. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. They've got it first and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided. Off-play action. Pitts. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
And Detroit getting set to go now. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest,
don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going
Exactly.
forward.
Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Back to the air. Stafford on second down. And he will find his big tight end over the middle. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards on the play.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's second down. He's lucky to be getting that one back.
After what they've done with him all day long with all the targets trying to go after him, he's obviously gotten smart and his pride has kicked in. Made a terrific play.
Wide open receiver complete. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 23 yards on the play. On first down, Stafford here. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. Here's Stafford now on second down. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Charles Clay, his second touchdown of the game, his third on the year. And the Lions are able to cut into this lead. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead is down to 24. That drive goes 80 yards in 6 plays. And it's capped off by a touchdown for the Lions. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Atlanta now coming out on the field. They have the big cushion. Here in the final stages of this one, I don't know if there's any better feeling than being up big on the road.
There really can't be, because for a team to go on the road and win in the NFL, that's huge to begin with. But just think about all the preparation that went into it. When they first started talking about this game, leading up to it during the week, going on the road, unfamiliar city, obviously, unfamiliar hotel. No one's going to be with you once you get to the stadium. They're all going to be against you. You name it, all those things they had to deal with, they were able to conquer them and do it convincingly.
Yeah, they did it very convincingly, and now the final moments of this one. That one looks like he'll throw here. He's going to look deep for Perriman. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. The 20. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. Extra point from McManus is good. And that will extend this big lead. Now McManus on to kick this one off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call...
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24.
Set. 180.
Out of the gun, Stafford. A dump off for Abdullah. And he'll get it up to the 12-yard line here. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play, as we'll get a timeout. As they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game.
Set. Yellow waiting.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Stafford. And now another turnover as this one's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Mills. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
He's going to look deep for Perriman. And nearly another interception. They've been around the ball all game. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
That's incomplete. Nearly another pick. My goodness.
Trying to decipher what's going on out there, because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown, and frankly, that should have been another pick, right? And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. I tell you, Charles, you play to the final whistle, I get that, but there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well in hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with it. I struggle. But on the other, the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
I'll guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners who had them. They listen, get the points for me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
One last throw here for Stafford. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey,